You know the video of the girl who's like, I quit my corporate job making 200 grand a year, and she's like doing something else now, but all the people in the comments are saying like, I want to scoop ice cream, I want to be a barista, I want to do this and that, and they want to do everything else besides being corporate. Let me have your job. I want to be salaried. I want to have stability. I don't want to pull more espresso shots. I don't want to be a barista anymore. I want to be in corporate. I'll take
The videos we're going to be checking out today are videos about a woman actually made a video, and she was saying how she actually quit her job that was making about 200k a year, and she just decided to quit, and all she can think about is working in a low wage type of job, just like a simple type of job where she doesn't really like, it's not the corporate world. And there are actually a few people who have complained about working in the corporate, world. That it's just it has so much stuff that they feel like it's just too much stress, and they just rather do some simple retail type of jobs. And also, there are people who were in her comments actually saying that that's all they can think about. People with actually high-paying jobs, like being lawyers and the rest, all in her comments talking about how they wish they could just be checking people out. But that's what they're fantasizing about for some of them. So we're going to be checking out this video because it actually had some people looking at them sideways like, are you crazy? Like, that's just a lie. Before we get right into this video and check it out, make sure you please click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Let's get right into it. I gotta be honest, I quit my corporate job that made me like $200,000 a year. And all I can think about is working like back of house at a restaurant. Like, I truly think that like that's the only thing that will make me happy. Like, the thought of going back into corporate America, like in any capacity, just doesn't make me happy. Like, I'm not like, the joy that it would be to like work on the grill, serve up orders, quick, fast communication with customers. Like, that's like what I want to do.
A lot of you guys are like, oh, I don't see how you could go to nursing school. Nursing school is so hard. I don't see how you could go to medical school. Medical school is so hard. I don't see how you could be a biology major. Biology is so hard. School is so hard. You think being broke is easy? You think being broke is easy? It's either life is going to be hard for you academically or financially. Pick your hard. Being a bum is hard too. Working hard is hard. But you get rewards when you work hard. Hard work is always rewarded. Being a bum is not rewarded. But the lifestyle of being a bum and being unsuccessful is hard. I'm telling you. The people, the TikTok beggars who have to come on here and ask for money on live, the homeless people on live who be asking us for money and stuff, you don't think it's hard to be homeless? You don't think it's hard to beg? You don't think it's hard to be unsuccessful? Pick what hard you want in your life. It's either you work hard or you live a hard knock life. Pick one. Not being able to feed yourself, sustain yourself, do anything for fun, do anything for pleasure because you can't afford it is hard. Pick your hard. Work hard in the beginning of your life so that the later days in your life are not that type of hard.
She posted about quitting her job that made her miserable, and she made $200K a year. Here are some of the comments. Quite eye-opening. I'm a lawyer, and I swear my dream job is to work at the Container Store. This person wants to scoop ice cream for 6 weeks, be a florist in the spring, work at the museum for the winter, breakfast diner grill in the summers, farm in the fall. I like it. Corporate America makes me miserable, and I literally work remote. I did this, went from 180K at junior exec level to being a server for 8 months. Turns out I'm unhappy on both sides of the fence. Back in corporate landia now. I'm dying to be the gym check-in girl. I quit corporate last year making 90K. I do photography and sell meats and eggs at a farm stand. I am so happy. All I want is to afford an apartment and work at a cat cafe and live my life in peace. To live in a society where you can work any job you desire and get paid a livable wage. Everyone seems to be happy at Costco. I frankly just don't want to work at all. What's your point of view? Corporate life or other?
After my small time in the corporate world, I think I can say this with my full chest. Those are the most evil people on the planet. And I'm talking about devious. And the reason why it's so devious is because everything is super calculated. Because it's layers to it. It's layers to the lies. It's layers to the manipulation. It's layers to the disrespect. Somebody could have got you 3 months ago, right? And it won't hit you until one random night and you're watching a movie with your wife. I'm talking about it could be somebody in the office. Y'all locked in. This your right-hand man, right? You don't know he got one more time to help you before you get fired. And he's doing it on purpose. Now, it's a different ball game over there. Like, the mental gymnastics that you gotta play, it might be worse than actually just scrapping, like actually just fighting. The thing you're thinking is like, oh, I don't got time for games like that. I'll just not do it. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like it don't work like that. Either you play or you lose. That's it. Either you play that game and you become that person, or you don't work there.
Like $200,000 a year. And all I can think about is working like back of house.
This. I literally have receipts from yesterday where I texted my friend that I just want to work back of house at a bakery or maybe one of those stores that makes gift baskets for people. I don't want to deal with customers. I just want like mindless work where someone tells me what to do and I just do it and make pretty things. Anyone else besides me and her? I've worked grill back of house at a restaurant. It's hot and you get burned a lot. But I totally get what she's saying.
The hardest lesson I had to learn when I started my corporate job was that you want to be calculatedly incompetent. Growing up, I had been told that you want to be the first in your class, the fastest on team. There were no participation awards. And I brought that same approach to my first corporate job. And I remember talking to a finance guy and I was like, I'm going to send this thing out. I just finished it. And he was absolutely horrified that I was sending back something so quickly. He goes, is this respected work? Is this work that you want to be asked to do again? Is this work that someone is going to recognize how smart and competent you are for doing? In this instance, it was not. It was not something I wanted to do again, something that was going to be recognized as hard work or something that was going to make me stand out from other analysts for doing. And he goes, well, then why would you advertise that you're good at doing something that you don't want to do? Don't want to be the best at things that you don't want to be asked to do continuously. Because if you're the most dependable person to do all of the grunt work, with the caveat being that the grunt work isn't something that people recognize as being necessary or important or validating that you can do it as a credential towards you getting more opportunities, then why are you trying to be the best at it? You don't want to be the best when it comes to the consequence of you just getting more stupid work. And obviously, you need to judge if the task they're giving you is important or if it's just grunt work that no one's going to recognize that you worked hard to complete. That's a judgment call that you have to learn over time. This is not to say that you shouldn't work hard your first few weeks, but this is to say if you get tasked with something that you don't want to do again, maybe take an extra 30 minutes before you send it back.
Most things are very difficult in life, let's be for real. But you know what, like, to be honest, I feel like most times we always tend to fantasize about things we don't have, to be honest. Like, when we don't have something, we really think about, like, I could do this if I have this, like, I would like it. And then I realized that continuously we pray and we wish for something, we really want it. And then once we get it, we're like, okay, you stop seeing the value in what you already had prayed for and hoped to have in your life, and immediately you start thinking about something else. Like, you're always wanting something else, like not what you already have and what you've forgotten you prayed for that thing and you wanted it, you worked hard towards achieving that thing. So all I see about the situation is a lot of them, yeah, they're having maybe difficulty in their field. They see how stressful it is to actually be in that particular, doing that job that they're doing. But then they're starting to sit down and then hope and wish and think about maybe scooping ice cream. It's easy and how it's not going to be difficult. It's more like living in a la-la land where it's all fun and games, but really, like, how is... People who work in those jobs actually say they don't have, it doesn't pay all their bills. They're struggling because they're not being paid well. And most times they have to stand on their feet and do those things for hours. Okay, you in your corporate jobs most likely sit down and use your brain to work, but they have to use physical labor to work.
You don't have money. Think about right now, if someone grabbed your throat and squeezed it, what would you think about? The only thing in the world, oxygen.
Yeah,
right? How do I get more in?
Getting free.
Right? But you're not thinking about it right now because it's abundant. It's not on your mind. But what you don't realize is when money is lacking in your life, it focuses all the time. I would do that for my kids, but I can't. I'd love to take that vacation, but I can't. I'd love to do my own thing. God, I'm sick of this unfulfilled job, but I can't. I'd love to be at every baseball game, but I can't. It all boils down to money. I don't care what anybody says. You have the money. You're in control of your decisions. You're in control of your calendar. So I didn't realize I spent so much of my life with the throat being choked, but it was money. And I watched, that's how my parents lived. I can't go to the baseball game. I can't put the window in the back of the car. We got to get evicted from this trailer because we don't have what? We don't have money. Right? I'd love to say that we live in this perfect world that you don't need money to have choices in your life, but in most cases you don't. But I want to tell you, for me, the biggest game changer is the day the hand came off my throat of money.
How old were you?
I probably was early 40s, because I always worried about it. Even though I was doing
Even
good
though
in
you're
my 30s,
making it, you had money.
But I still was the leftover broke kid that somebody was going to realize I wasn't that smart and take it all away from me.
Right.
Felt that way my entire, like, what are they going to figure out that I shouldn't belong in this room?
Right.
I don't know who tricked me into thinking that getting a salary job was going to make me feel like I really made it, but they don't tell you if you just work all the time. You work all the time. You work 24/7 for less money. It's like you think you're making a lot until you even out how much you work, and then you're like, oh my God, it's free labor.
I'm so sick of this job, and let me tell y'all why. It seems like every day I come in this bitch and it's a new rule or a new issue with something I'm doing. And you might be like, why you got that napkin tucked in your shirt? It's because I'm eating lunch in my car. You want to know why I'm eating lunch in my car instead of at my desk in my fucking office? Because the district manager comes in today, like he always does. He knocks on my door because my door is always closed. It's cold as fuck in there. I keep the heat on. Everybody complain about my heat being on, so I keep my door closed. Cool. He knocks on my door. He comes in and he's like, yeah, I see that door is closed. And I'm like, yeah, it's always closed. Like, he said it every time he come here. It's always closed. And he's like, well, I just need you to leave the door open because we have an open door policy, blah, blah, blah. So I said, open door policy typically refers to higher ups and managers letting you know that their door is always open. You can come in and talk to them. I'm not a higher up. I'm not a manager. My door doesn't need to be open 24/7. If somebody needs to talk to me, they can come in and talk to me. They don't knock on my door no way. They just bust that bitch in when they need to come in there. And he like, well, it just sends the wrong message. It just seems like you're not a part of the team. It's not very welcoming. I said, I talk to my coworkers every single day. You know I talk to my coworkers every single day. And they know I talk to them every single day. And they know that if they need something, they can come in here. And he's like, well, it just doesn't give that. It needs to give the illusion that blah, blah, blah. I'm not hearing that. I'm really not. I just don't understand why my door being closed affects y'all so fucking much. It's not hindering nobody from doing their job. It ain't preventing you from getting in touch with me whenever you need to. And it's not affecting my work performance. So why is it such an issue? Why is it mandatory for me to have my fucking door open? And then he's like, well, what if it makes somebody else feel like they can't approach you or they're uncomfortable because they won't feel like they're bothering you, blah, blah, blah. If they felt uncomfortable or like they were bothering me, they would not bust in that bitch 24/7 without knocking. And they wouldn't say half the shit they say. And then he's like, well, we're just going to work on keeping it open for now. Like, how do we feel about that? How's that? I feel like I don't have a fucking choice. That's what I feel like. I don't understand why it's so hard to mind your business and leave me the fuck alone. I really don't understand. Motherfuckers be at this job doing everything on God's green earth. But me closing my fucking office doors where you draw the line, bitch.
The problem you have is someone's dream, to be honest. And being broke is really very difficult. It's not easy at all. It's very hard to be broke. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you not having money, it's a tough place to be at, okay? But, you know, sometimes some people are broke and happy, so we don't know that. Working in some type of jobs that pay a lot, actually they stress the shit out of you. They make you work so hard because and it's also the same for the ones that don't even pay you enough, to be honest. Like, they will stress you everywhere. Like, and if they pay you a lot more, they have more reasons to actually stress you. But for some people are really paid well in some corporate jobs and they don't really have to do much. All they just do is just, you know, chill around. Repetitive work and not much. But I've actually seen someone who was paid a lot. He actually got a new job he was being paid more than he was paid before, and he was so excited about the situation. And all of a sudden things just started changing for him. They were telling him, oh, you know, this is your time, your schedule. Before you know it, they started changing the time and it became longer than usual. And then they started giving him extra work in order to lure him into working even during the weekend without getting paid extra for that. They're just trying to give him work that he'll be so stressed, and giving him a deadline that is so short to actually meet up to, that you have to actually work overtime for. You just find yourself doing it. It's not a situation where they tell you to do it, but they're literally trying to get you to do it. You're just gonna do it because if you're not doing or finishing any project they give you, then what is happening? Like, you know, you have a problem at the workplace. That means you could actually get fired because you're not doing enough. So, but they would definitely give you something that's going to be too much for you. So this is just to say that, honestly, like, pick your heart, because this life is hard in a lot of situations. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you so much. Make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate you so much. And also leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you think about this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.